Pathways Through to Space, an experiential journal, Franklin Merrell-Wolff. Chapter 1, continued. August 22nd. Late yesterday afternoon I awakened again to the deeper consciousness, though not so profoundly as upon the first occasion. The immediate inducing cause was the reading of a portion of Shankara's Direct Realization. The inciting occasion each time seems to be a new turn in recognition, combined with a certain creative act of the relative consciousness. The moment of creative discovery is the crucial one. There is then a deepening of consciousness, a sort of retreat of the relative world, in a subtle sense, and then the quality of bliss flows over the personality. From a profound level, thought is stimulated, or, perhaps more correctly, fed. Throughout this whole period I am engaged in thought of a degree of profundity unprecedented in my previous experience. While in one sense the I am is the uttermost of simplicity, yet there is invoked along with the direct presence of it a new view of the universe that requires to be thought through, and the elaborations in this thought are greater than those that I have known heretofore. There is so much to be made clear in thought that there is hardly time to give it expression. There is also a difference in the thought level. In the past, I seemed, in general, to reach deeper when putting forth the effort to express myself, particularly in writing. Now, expression seems more a reaching downward into forms that are inadequate. My inward thought seems clearer in its relative formlessness than when I give it formulation. Yet formerly, it seemed to me that I could express myself almost beyond my genuine understanding. I have to resist a certain boredom in the effort to give expression. I can understand why the plans of learned men to compose systems sometimes fail to materialize when they break through to liberation. The objective effort seems too poor in its results. However, the expression is needed, and it is necessary that the work be done. I find that there is a decided intellectual enrichment, but the outer sensuous life is poorer at the present time. Does this latter fact constitute a danger to the body? The tide of physical life does run perceptibly lower. How is physical interest, never strong with me, to be cultivated so that the body will take on more virility? Disgust with the external world does help toward liberation, but it is a barrier to the assertion of the continued will to live. Yet this is necessary if one is to carry on among men. I foresee the possibility that will without desire may prove to be an overly severe asceticism. We have been practicing meditation each evening. I have aimed at the segregation of the subjective factor in consciousness. I have allowed meditation with the eyes closed. S reported heavy sleepiness, and L nodded in her chair. I think we will have to work with the eyes open. The reason for this is becoming clear. The sensory field of the eye is stronger than that of any of the other senses. With the eyes open, waking consciousness continues stronger than otherwise. Permitting the objective consciousness to continue through its own automatism, the point will be to concentrate on the subjective moment. It would seem that this should correlate realization more effectively with the personal consciousness. It is not enough to reach the self in sleep. I seem to be dreaming more than I have in a long time. Much of this dreaming seems to be a reviewing of events connected with the past, although the scenes and the events are transformed so that they are not photographic reproductions of the physical originals. There also seems to be a continuation of the trains of thought that were started during the waking state. The dreams are quite lacking in sensual intriguery, but are more the nature of a dispassionate reviewing of events, scenes, and ideas. Night before last, the outline of a plan for another book or two developed in my consciousness. The principal one of these would be on the subject of recognition, the plan to be a development of the process of knowledge tied in with the present philosophic thought, and then to have the emphasis placed upon the extraction of the subjective moment in consciousness. Footnote. Several ideas that are properly a part of such a proposed work subsequently became incorporated in this volume. They are introduced here in the sequence in which they were actually born into formulation. The theoretical part would not be new, but along with this there would be a new value afforded by reason of its being written from the perspective of an actual recognition. It would aim to show that recognition is the practical end implicit in our own best philosophy. It could be shown that to realize the pure apperception of Kant is to attain recognition and liberation. August 26th. The force of physical life is running higher today, but it is far from being really vigorous. I am exploring a new world. There is so much which requires to be thought into clarity that there seems not to be time enough for the writing, setting aside all more external activities. But it is necessary that a record should be kept as far as the inner events and ideas can be captured. My thought is extraordinarily clear. An increasing amount of it is now within the range of formulation, but my actual thought is in the form of a sort of shorthand which takes much less time than the completed expression on paper or the spoken word. The writing process seems so slow. I shall place down what I can in this record as the material comes to the foreground, leaving systematic formulation to the future. End of chapter 1.